The number one fruit many seniors avoid that may help support healthy arteries. After 60, have you ever avoided a fruit because you were told it was too sugary, too messy, or not good for your heart? And what if the very fruit people complain about is one of the most powerful natural foods for supporting your arteries after 50? Today we're talking about what I often call the most hated fruit for arterial health. Not because it's dangerous, but because many people misunderstand it. And before we go any further, let's clarify something very important. No fruit can magically open blocked arteries overnight. Arteries don't unzip like a stuck jacket. But certain foods can support endothelial function, the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, and help improve circulation over time. That distinction matters. And today, we're going to talk about the fruit many people overlook, yet research consistently associates with improved vascular function, reduced oxidative stress, and better nitric oxide availability. We'll discuss why arteries stiffen after 50, what this fruit actually does biologically, why some people dislike it, who should be cautious, and how to use it properly. By the end, you'll understand whether this fruit belongs in your weekly routine. Before we begin, tell me your age in the comments and where you're watching from. Heart health is a global concern, and I always appreciate knowing who's part of this conversation. Now let's start with the real issue. After 50, arteries gradually lose flexibility. This process is influenced by chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, elevated blood sugar, high blood pressure, sedentary lifestyle, and excess abdominal fat. The inner lining of your arteries, called the endothelium, becomes less responsive. Nitric oxide production declines, and nitric oxide is crucial. It tells your blood vessels when to relax and widen. When nitric oxide signaling weakens, arteries become stiffer, blood pressure rises, circulation becomes less efficient. Now here's where today's fruit enters the picture. The fruit I'm referring to is pomegranate. Yes, the messy one, the one that stains your shirt, the one people complain takes too much effort. But biologically, pomegranate is extraordinarily rich in polyphenols, especially punicalagins and anthocyanins. These compounds are potent antioxidants. Let's talk about what that means. Benefit number one, oxidative stress reduction. Oxidative stress damages the endothelial lining of arteries. Over time, this damage contributes to plaque development and vascular stiffness. Polyphenols in pomegranate help neutralize free radicals. Biologically, this protects nitric oxide molecules from degradation. Emotionally, that may translate into feeling more energetic during physical activity. Practically, it supports long-term vascular resilience. Benefit number two, improved nitric oxide availability. Several studies suggest that pomegranate juice may improve endothelial function by enhancing nitric oxide bioavailability. This doesn't clear plaques, but it may help arteries relax more effectively. Biologically, improved vasodilation enhances blood flow. Emotionally, better circulation often correlates with improved exercise tolerance. Practically, small improvements in endothelial function can compound over years. Benefit number three, anti-inflammatory support. Chronic low-grade inflammation contributes to arterial plaque progression. Pomegranate polyphenols have been shown to reduce inflammatory markers in some populations. Again, not a miracle cure, but a supportive tool. Benefit number four, potential support for blood pressure regulation. Some research shows modest reductions in systolic blood pressure with regular pomegranate juice consumption. Biologically, this likely relates to nitric oxide pathways and antioxidant activity. Practically, even small reductions in blood pressure reduce long-term cardiovascular risk. So why is it hated? Let's be honest. It's inconvenient, it's messy, it can stain countertops, and many people assume fruit sugar automatically equals danger. Here's the balanced truth. Whole pomegranate seeds contain fiber. Fiber slows sugar absorption. When consumed as whole arils rather than heavily sweetened juice blends, glycemic impact is moderate for most healthy individuals. However, this brings us to caution number 1. If you have diabetes or insulin resistance, portion control matters. 8 ounces of concentrated juice is different from half a cup of seeds. Context matters. Caution number 2. Medication interactions. Pomegranate may interact with certain medications metabolized through liver enzyme pathways, similar to grapefruit. If you are on multiple cardiovascular medications, consult your physician before daily concentrated juice consumption. Caution number 3. It is not a substitute for lifestyle change. No fruit can override smoking, sedentary behavior, poor sleep, excess alcohol, chronic overeating. Arterial health is systemic. Now let's zoom out. Why does this matter after 50 specifically? Because vascular aging accelerates during midlife. Men often experience increased blood pressure. Women, after menopause, lose estrogen's protective vascular effects. Nitric oxide signaling declines, and endothelial dysfunction often precedes major cardiovascular events by years. The encouraging part? Endothelial function is modifiable through exercise, weight management, blood sugar control, stress reduction, adequate sleep, and nutrient-dense foods. Pomegranate is not the only helpful fruit. Berries, citrus fruits, and grapes also contain beneficial polyphenols. But pomegranate stands out for concentration. Let's talk practical application. How much is reasonable? Most studies examining vascular effects use approximately 4 to 8 ounces of pure pomegranate juice daily. For whole seeds, about half to 1 cup. You do not need excessive amounts. Consistency matters more than quantity. Combine it with resistance training to maintain muscle mass, daily walking to stimulate circulation, adequate protein intake, omega-3 rich foods, leafy greens for additional nitrate support. Think synergy, not single food salvation. Now let's address something important. If you already have significant arterial plaque, dietary changes support stability. They do not open arteries overnight. True arterial narrowing reversal, when possible, requires comprehensive lifestyle intervention and medical supervision. Be cautious of any claim suggesting dramatic plaque elimination from one food alone. Your arteries respond to patterns, not isolated events. But patterns can be powerful. Small daily improvements in endothelial function can accumulate over years. And that is where this fruit shines. It supports the environment inside your arteries. It reduces oxidative stress. It enhances nitric oxide signaling. It contributes to anti-inflammatory balance. And over time, that environment matters. So the real bottom line, pomegranate is not magic. It is not a cure. It is not a bypass alternative, but it is a scientifically supported, nutrient-dense fruit that may help maintain healthier arterial function, especially when combined with movement and metabolic control. If you've been avoiding it because you thought fruit was the enemy, reconsider. Whole foods are rarely the problem. Ultra-processed excess is. And here's something empowering. After 50, vascular health is not fixed. It responds. Endothelial cells regenerate. Nitric oxide production can improve. Blood pressure can stabilize. Inflammation can decrease. But it requires consistency, not quick fixes. If you decide to incorporate pomegranate, do it intentionally. Pair it with strength training. Protect your sleep. Monitor your blood pressure. Work with your physician if you have established cardiovascular disease. And remember, no single fruit opens arteries. But some fruits help your arteries function better. That's a more accurate and more powerful statement. If this conversation helped you see beyond the headline and understand the physiology, consider subscribing for more evidence-based discussions about heart health after 50. And tell me in the comments, have you tried pomegranate regularly before? Real strength isn't about chasing miracle foods. It's about building daily habits that support your circulation, your energy, and your longevity. Your arteries don't need hype. They need consistency, and you are capable of providing that.